If you don't know the answers to the following questions, you are already behind. Where is the market headed in 2024? Is it still better to rent than owning a home? Are the home prices crashing this year? We certainly had anomaly years in the past, and it's crucial more than ever to know what lies ahead of us. This market update is important whether you are a first-time home buyer or you are an investor in the market. By the end of this video, you'll be able to answer the critical questions in the real estate market, and the next time you hang out with your friends or family in the gathering, you will be the real estate expert in the group. And guys, this year is going to be a great year, especially because it's an election year. Hey, my name is Jason Sun, and I am the Source to the Source Realtor here in North Dallas. And if you haven't already, make sure you click the like and subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And because this year is going to be a great year in real estate, if you have thought about doing anything real estate related, give me a call. All my contact information is down below this video. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Let's get together and see how we can shape your vision together. Just like I mentioned earlier, this is a political year. There's going to be all sorts of craziness out there, and among those things, housing affordability is going to be the main issue in the election. Now let me know in the comments down below what you guys think would happen in the election this year in regards to the housing affordability. Now let's jump right into the mortgage rates. What we can see here is the weekly rate from the Freddie Mac, and we can see the highest that we hit was 7.79, sometimes in the middle of October. Now this is not going to include the daily rate where we actually jumped to 8.03. This is the weekly rate. October was not that long ago, and now we are down to 6.61% on the weekly rate. So what we are seeing here is that since October, we are seeing some signs of relief in that issue. And that relief, I think, is going to continue. The rates may bounce a little bit here and there, but in the end, we are looking at a downward slope. As a matter of fact, Dean Baker, the senior economist at the Center for Economic Research, said it also appears that mortgage rates are now falling again. They will most certainly not fall to pandemic lows like the 2s or the 3%, although we may soon see rates under 6%, which will be low by pre-Great Recession standards. Now, if this momentum continues, it's likely that by May, we might see interest rates at 5%, or at least at the high 5%. And I'm going to further show you here in a bit why this may not be a fairy tale after all. Now, one of the challenges that we are asked a lot is, even if the rates come down, there is not enough inventory. Part of the reason why there wasn't enough inventory or hasn't been enough inventory is because there has been a lock-in. Here's the brand new numbers on the mortgage rates on existing mortgages in the country right now. And what we can see is a 78.7% of all mortgage rates are less than 5%. And that's that lock-in that we're talking about. When rates were going at 7 to 8%, nobody with mortgage rates under 5% was thinking or even close to thinking about selling their home and moving on. I mean, why would they? They are locked in a rate under 5%. Why would they sacrifice that to go into a higher interest rate home with higher monthly payments? Now, life happens and things change, and sometimes people are forced to make the move. But now with the rates coming down, the difference is not that much. People that were locked in at 4%, if their new interest rates are 5.5%, people are likely to move on. And as a result, what we will see is that people that were on the sideline for the past 18 months are now willing to move. So I think we are going to get a flood of inventory for those swing buyers. Now, with people that have mortgage rates at 3% or under 3%, they're still probably not going to sell even with the rates coming down at 5%. I don't think we will see rates at 2s or 3s anytime soon, to be honest with you guys. Now, what are some reasons that you as a buyer have in regards to owning a new home? Here is the top 3 reasons why buyers have passed their decisions. As you can see, 72.1% said it's because of the mortgage rates, 34.4% said it's because of the shortage of inventory, and 17.4% said it's because of the affordability issue that we are facing today. Well, now you know that the first 2 major reasons challenges are being alleviated because the mortgage rates are coming down and now the inventory is going to go up. And we are going to go to a more of a normal level of affordability. Here is another evidence that heads towards the rate cut. The Goldman Sachs said that we now forecast a 3 consecutive 25 basis point cut in March, May, and June by the Fed. So instead of raising rates by the Fed, they are going to cut the rates 3 times. Mark Zandi is saying the same thing. He thinks there's going to be 4 rate cuts next year. He just thinks it's going to happen later in the year. But if we do get 3 rate cuts by June, and with the seasonality and during the peak season of buying season, we can probably see the rates in the 5s. Let's talk about home prices. Now, I believe we are going back to a normal appreciation, and we will look at that further here in a second. This is a 49-year average monthly price movement, non-seasonally adjusted, Case-Shiller. What you can see here is that at the beginning of the year, it's a little slow, and then we get to March, April, May, and the price appreciates quickly. And then we get into May and June, and the appreciation starts to decelerate. We are not talking about depreciation. We are talking about appreciation decelerating. You need to make sure you understand that. Now, looking at the 2023 year, we can tell that we are returning to a normal appreciation. We are not going to see that crazy 15 to 20% appreciation that we saw during the pandemic, thank goodness. Now, let's take a look at what others are saying about home prices. Here's a graph of some of the major entities like the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, NBA, NAR, Zillow, and if we average them all in, we are talking about a 1.5 appreciation this year. And this number is adjusted every month, so be sure to tune into the monthly market analysis right here in this channel to get that update. One key thing I like to look at in this channel is the Fannie Mae's Home Prices Expectation Survey. Now, this is gathered from over 100 housing experts across the industry to forecast the national home prices percentage change in the next 5 calendar years. And here we can see that there was a 5.92% appreciation in the year 2023, and this year in 2024 we are going to have about 2.35% appreciation. And I think we are going to see and appreciate that's a little higher than that 2.35% this year. Why is it important to look at the appreciation percentage? Well, because one thing that people love about homeownership is that they can build wealth. And if someone is talking about building wealth, one of the major ways families build wealth is through the appreciation in their home, the equity in their home. Now, even with these very conservative numbers, as far as some appreciation for the next couple of years go, let's take a look at how that affects the equity situation in the home over the next 5 years. They make $72,405 on a $400,000 house. Whether you're buying a home for yourself or your family, or you're buying an investment property here in Dallas, you're going to see appreciation in the next 5 years. Think about that. So one of the major questions is it better to rent or is it better to buy? Well, right now it's definitely less expensive to rent if you look at the mortgage payments versus the rent payment. But what we need to take in account of is the appreciation factor. So now with the appreciation factored into the equation, what is a better solution or a better situation? Take a look at the percentage change in home values from Case-Shiller and FHFA. As far as you can see, we are going back to a normal appreciation. This one only shows up to October, but if we take a look at the Freddie Mac prices for November, you can see that we are definitely going to a normal appreciation. Home price gains in the CoreLogic S&P Shiller Index have increased by about 7%. It's actually about 6.3% since the beginning of the year and are 1% higher than at the peak in 2022, recovering all losses recorded in the second half of 2022. Now, do you remember at the end of 22, people were saying all the prices were going to crash, they're going to crash 20%, and that we will never going to hit that peak again? Well, we've already hit it. With mortgage rates dropping, demand for homes in the early 2024 is likely to be strong and once again put a lot of pressure on prices, similar to the trends observed in the early 2023. I think Dallas market will continue to reach a new home price highs over the next course of 2024. Selma from CoreLogic said that there's not going to be a crashing of prices. Now, you're going to hear that just like you hear that at the beginning of every year. You're going to hear that, especially being the election year. You're definitely going to hear this. But if you are investing in yourself and you know what is the truth, then you know that that's not going to happen. We also know that we are not going to have the 15 to 20% appreciation that we did. So you're going to have a lot of crazy headlines out there in the market trying to create fear in the community, but now you know exactly what is going on in the market with the data and you know where it's projected to. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click that like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Keep up with the up-to-date information right here with me, and you have already won by investing in yourself today. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below, or you can reach out to me in the contact information down below as well. I hope you guys have a blessing year of 2024. Let's make 2024 even better. I'll see you again in the next video.